Very good win. I was really pleased with the way the team responded um, after half. It's not that we played bad in the first half, but we had some bad plays, and starting with putting the ball on the ground. It kind of sucks the life right out of the stadium when you put the ball on the ground and give up 7 points early, and that obviously um, can't happen against better opponents. And it just kind of puts you in a pissed off mood, right from the start. But really pleased that we were in control for the entire game offensively. I thought we really moved the ball well. Again, the turnovers. Um, uh, with Will, I think there was a bit of a miscommunication on that. I think the ball came on him a little quicker than he was anticipating with the communication with him and Luke, and so turned into a fumble and a pick or scoop and score, and so that was a rough way to start. But really pleased with the way the team bounced back and had a dominant half. Again, we had an opportunity to really put it away and put the ball on the ground on the two. That can't happen and hasn't happened much lately, and we got to get back to the basics and working on that. I challenged the team at halftime because I wanted to see some younger players in the game. I wanted to see guys that have been around here for a long time that may be playing their last game in this stadium, and they deserved the opportunity to get some reps, and that's fun and that's joyous for all of us to watch those guys play that work so hard that don't get an opportunity to play. So it was important to take charge and be dominant in the second half, and they did that defensively. I think that's what always aggravates me. It wasn't like they were scoring a lot, but the drives, the possession in the first half. I want to say 3 drives led to 3 field goals and kept the ball away from us a little bit. And so in the second half, we got off the field, especially early on some third downs, and created the separation that we had. So happy for the seniors, happy for the guys that played that don't normally get to play, and really happy that our team finished really strong. So we have a big game coming up this next week, and that's our concentration.
About that game, Mark, it seems like for fans, maybe that Louisville game is going to define how this season is perceived. How much pressure?
Well, I mean, if we're affected by that pressure, we got problems. We have a little bit of pressure all year, don't we? I mean, every day, every game. I mean, we live in that world. I mean, I thought I heard that every day for my first 5 years. That every game was so. It's every game's important. We live there all the time. It's about our preparation. I really appreciate the way our team's been practicing. We weren't always perfect out there today, but as I mentioned, our prep has been really good. And I feel like the guys are really getting focused, really dialed in, and really committed to becoming a better football team down the stretch and finishing strong. And we need to have that same week this week.
The last couple of years going into this game, I know last week different. You have a big, you get this big win, get some young guys out there, get those kind of reps, and get some rest for the guys too. How big is
Plays a part, in it. It's nice. We've had some late games, as I've mentioned in the press conference, and when you're on the road or at home, the late games can beat you up, as the year goes on. But it's nice to get done early. Let our guys try to get a little bit of rest and feel good. That challenge them to get that rest that they need. So we start our prep on Monday.
Today was senior day. I know on senior day a lot of seniors made big plays. Just what's it like for them to see them have success kind of in their
Yeah.
lives?
Yeah, Josh started. Yeah, Josh Ali and Josh Pascal both had big games. I mean, Josh started the game with a big tackle for loss, and Josh had a big game. Josh Ali had a big game, and all those guys. I mean, Luke, Darian, you name it. They've done an awful lot for our program. They've won a lot of games, and we appreciate them. And so it's important to send them off this way.
How much attention have you been able to pay to Louisville the last few weeks? They seem to hit their stride after a difficult season.
Yeah, I caught some of that game the other night and looked very good. Obviously, just on the TV, catching them, putting up a lot of points. So they'll have my full attention as soon as we get done with this. press conference. That's all right.
Wandale's pretty close to setting a single season record for receptions and
How many is he need?
since the time, 6 to break. And it's close to, because within kind of striking range of the reception, receiving yards record. But just having it, he's been what I think he thought he would be, but just what does he bring to the table every week?
Well, as I mentioned, I think the biggest thing that you notice with Wandale that he has an opportunity to do that. That would be great, but that's not his focus or ours. I mean, he's a very unselfish player. He plays better than you think away from the ball when he's not getting the ball. He plays hard, he's selfless, and he's a good teammate. And practices hard and plays hard. So, I think that's the biggest takeaway. He's created explosive plays. And, Josh really stepped up tonight. And I thought Josh really played a big game, being strong. They were bringing all kind of pressure, getting the ball out. And Josh making some making some people miss, creating some first downs, just making some good catches. He bounced back. He had the one drop early, and then he responded and played really good the rest of the second half.
Both those guys out there too, what has it done recruiting wise?
It's going to help us. It's definitely going to help us. I mean, obviously having Will is going to help us, and throwing the football. What did he throw for today? I don't know. Was it? 419. Yeah, I mean, throwing the ball like that, and it's going to help us recruit, receivers. We needed to, and with that, there's some give and take. That's as I mentioned early on. I mean, I was committed to moving the program forward, and there's going to be some ups and downs with that, and we're seeing, some of that with some turnovers and, interceptions and things. But Will just bounces back. He's very confident. Guys just go right back on the field, and they're creating big plays. So we're definitely getting better, and I feel like we've gotten better the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. And it's because of the way they're preparing and the way they're practicing.
You talked about, you're okay with aggressive mistakes on defense. You get a PI here and there. Do you do the same way about Will when he's trying to fit a ball into a tight window there?
Yeah, it was a tight window. I think there was another throw earlier where maybe there was some separation and he needed to put it on him. And so he carried that over, and he was trying to put that on him, and the DB undercut it and made a nice play. So it's just constantly getting reps, and every play is different. It's hard to simulate, where they're at all the time and how they're going to respond. But, I like the way he shakes it off and goes back out there and continues to play.
Mark, would you say to see Eric Jackson out there moving around?
I mentioned that to the team. That was part of the reason why I jumped him at halftime, because I wanted to see a dominant performance, and I wanted to see some guys out there, and Derek was a great example. Here's a guy that is coming back from a serious injury, and we were joking about it, and I challenged him, and, Jason brought this to my attention. It's the first time I've seen him smile in about 7 to 9 months, and so, the young man needed some reps, and that's why we have to take care of business so guys like that can get back in there, get the rust off, and have some joy from what he's doing and how hard he's worked, to get back on the field.
Guys like him and going back to JJ, they look pretty good for guys coming off some pretty rough injuries that take a lot of time to recover from. But what is it you guys do, I guess, strength conditioning-wise?
Well, yeah, I think our both our trainers, our doctors, our trainers do a great job, and our strength and conditioning team. And the players have to work exceptionally hard. When we played last week at Vandy, I mentioned that I'd spent some time with Bud Dupree, and Bud's coming off of, same injury JJ has. And I have to stay on JJ because Bud's a professional. He's mature, and he's on it. And he's still, he was telling me the things that he does, how hard he works to continue to rehab and continue to strengthen. And obviously JJ's done that as well. He's had a few little setbacks, nothing major, nothing structurally, but you got to continue to strengthen that and continue to rehab it.
One player in program history has had more 100-yard games than Chris Rodriguez this season, but the fumble issue seems to be this cloud. How do you evaluate how he's played?
Yeah, I think that's obviously it's unacceptable because he's a better player than that. You see that when he's locked in, and Chris has been practicing very, very good. He's dialed in. He's working hard. It happened. He can't. I don't want to overthink this one. There was definitely an issue early. It's not acceptable. It's not okay. You know, I feel like interceptions are going to happen, but there's no excuse for fumbles. You know, and I can't, you know, give him an excuse for this one. But I know he'll get it corrected, and he'll be dialed in, and he'll have a great week of practice. And I know him. That's the competitor in him. But there's really no excuse. I can't give him one. You know, there's no reason to fumble the ball at the 2-yard line.
The New Mexico quarterback got loose on a few scrambles. The next quarterback, he's going to run all over the place. How do you coach your guys up when defending quarterback scrambles?
Yeah, it's true. There, you know, the discipline of it tonight. You know that there was a few early and nothing that got crazy, but it did buy him some time and get some, you know, 7 to 8 to 10-yard runs. And yeah, the next guy we're going to play can those 10-yard runs can turn into 20 or 30 in a hurry. Extremely athletic. The things I've seen on the TV when I've watched them. So we have to be very disciplined in our rush lanes, and we have to change some things up. You know, there's times when you have to pressure. There's times when you have to make sure we're disciplined in our rush lanes, and you got to mix up how many you bring, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you have to. You know, bring them all. So you got to mix it up because he's a very talented player, and we have to be very disciplined on our end. It's not just it's not as easy as that, Lonnie. I know it's easy watching TV and say, hey, spy that guy. You know, I don't know why we work so many hours. You know, it's like, just spy him. There's a lot of issues, believe me. That is part of it. I mean, it is. That's part of it. But it's not just the end-all, be-all. You know?
You mentioned getting those young guys in. Which one of those really popped off once they got onto the field?
I can't tell. You know, I can't tell just from watching it. You know, D-Jack, you know, I figured his, you know, seeing him, the physicality of his, you know, a few of his tackles, I feel like he jumped out a little bit, which was good to see. So.
For you, I like that. I mean, I know maybe you're going second team defense or something. Maybe fans might dismiss like, oh well, what they're doing is a real, you know, team or whatever. But just visualizing that success, is there something to that? Just getting that action out there and being able to kind of see.
I think it's positive. It's always a confidence builder, and it's just good for young men to get reps. You know, as they get plays, as they get game reps, they get better, and experience matters, and all that out there, because we practice so much against each other, and you know, some of the down the line guys, they don't get as much scout work either. So just seeing plays live, seeing different teams, you get better with experience.
I know you mentioned a lot of guys happy to see people play, but there were a lot of smiles when Bo got that touchdown.
Yeah, it was good, and he made a really nice throw early. I believe it was on a 3rd down. It may have been a 2nd long or 3rd down. Anticipated through a back shoulder completion, and just to get him reps. Once again, it's just important to get him out there. He's one play away from playing a bunch of snaps, and it was nice to see Nick get some at the end. I didn't want to throw it. You know, when Bo got in there, I had to get a few throws in there. You know, because, you know, just for what I was just talking about, just getting game reps and seeing them throw and catch. And but at that point, it was getting away from us, and always want to respect the game and not, you know, abuse that situation.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
All right. Players be over in the dining hall.